Bernardino León Gross is a Spanish diplomat and politician, currently appointed the United Nations Special Representative and head of the United Nations Support Mission in Libya. Prior to this appointment by United Nations Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon, he served as the European Union's Special Representative for the Southern Mediterranean. León is a former Secretary-General at the Office of the Spanish Prime Minister, Sherpa for the G20 and Spanish Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs. His diplomatic career has mainly been devoted to the Arab world, where his mediating efforts in peace process negotiations have been highly acknowledged. The European Union's Special Representative for the Southern Mediterranean, Bernardino León was appointed the European Union's Special Representative for the Southern Mediterranean by the Council of the European Union on 18 July 2011. Is the EUSR. Bernardino León is playing a leading role in enhancing the EU's support to the countries in the southern Mediterranean undergoing a democratic transition, as defined in the Council Decision 2011-424 CFSP. The main political objectives of the EUSR relate to the recent developments in the Arab world, calling for a strengthened and comprehensive response from the EU, supporting the democratic transitions in the countries in the southern Mediterranean region. The mandate sets out three policy objectives. 1. Enhancing the Union's political dialogue with the southern Mediterranean. 2. Contributing to the response of the Union, strengthening democracy and institution building in the countries. 3. Enhancing the Union's effectiveness, presence and visibility in the region and in relevant international forums. The EUSR has, through coordinating high-level EU task forces, contributed to the response of the EU in strengthening democratic transition in those countries in the southern Mediterranean. The task force constitute a new kind of European diplomacy, mobilizing all EU resources and working with both public and private sectors to support the democratic transition through support to institution building, rule of law, good governance, respect for human rights, economic reforms and regional cooperation, acting as a multiplier and a catalyst. The task force as a tool deepens the EU's partnership with the countries in a results-oriented and differentiated way, involving all EU institutions. Exchanges with civil society organizations and members of parliament are central to the work of TF. EU task forces have been conducted with Tunisia, co-chaired by the High Representative Catherine Ashton and the Tunisian Prime Minister Beji Caid Essebsi; Jordan, co-chaired by the High Representative Catherine Ashton and the Jordanian Prime Minister Shawkat Al-Qas; Egypt, co-chaired by the High Representative Catherine Ashton and the Egyptian Foreign Minister Mohammed Kamal Amra. Diplomatic career. In 1998, at the outset of the EU Common Foreign and Security Policy, León became personal advisor to the EU Special Representative for the Middle East Peace Process, Miguel Angel Moratinos, at the time when the Y Accords were being negotiated. He remained until 2001, during the Tabor Accords negotiation and the setup of the Quartet on the Middle East. His mission was primarily focused in Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Israel and Palestine. In 2001, León became head of the Three Cultures of the Mediterranean Foundation, a Moroccan-Spanish institution for dialogue and mutual understanding among the different cultures and religions in the Mediterranean. During this period, León worked very closely with governments and civil society representatives. That was the case of of Tunisia, for instance, where he worked with members of the opposition. In 2003, Edward said, Daniel Barenboim and Bernardino León founded the Barenboim Said Foundation, which focused on the West-Eastern Divan Orchestra for young musicians from the Arab countries of the Middle East and Israel. From 2004 to 2008, León was the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs at the Spanish Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation. During this time, León was instrumental in the launch of the Alliance of Civilizations, a prestigious initiative proposed by Prime Minister of Spain, José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero, at the 59th General Assembly of the United Nations in 2005. It was co-sponsored by the Turkish Prime Minister, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The initiative galvanized international action against extremism through the forging of international, intercultural and interreligious dialogue and cooperation. The alliance places a particular emphasis on diffusing tensions between the Western and Islamic worlds. During this period, he worked closely with Arab countries and was particularly involved in the negotiations between Cyprus and Turkey. In 2008, Bernardino León was appointed Secretary General at the office of the Spanish Prime Minister José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero, which involved, among other responsibilities, the role as the main foreign policy advisor to the Prime Minister. In 2009 he was appointed, keeping his post as Secretary General of the Presidency, Sherpa for the G20, a forum in which he participated in all negotiations and summits and involved holding a very active role in major international economic and financial issues. In 2011, León was appointed the European Union's Special Representative for the Southern Mediterranean by the EU High Representative and Vice President. On the 14th of August 2014, Mr. León was appointed United Nations Special Representative and head of the United Nations Support Mission in Libya, and took office on the 1st of September 2014, succeeding Mr. Tariq Mitri of Lebanon.